I'm doing This Week in Astrology. This one is for August 18th through 24th. Yes, I know I'm late. I apologize. Thank you so much for being patient. It's been a lot after a wedding, so we've had a lot going on. We seem to be trying to right this cosmic ship. The winds have changed, and the sails are being trimmed to maximize these new, courageous winds. As we too are needing to adjust our shape and angle to the wind, it feels like a lot, even when the astrology is not necessarily looking highly active. Don't be fooled. Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Pluto, and Mercury are all in retrograde, and things are happening just below the surface, preparing to explode out into the world shortly. Uranus will go retrograde on September 1st, just when Pluto goes back into Capricorn. This should make for a very interesting day, but we will get to that next week. Retrogrades are our chances to rethink a few things and to recognize that the universe often has a plan that we did not fully understand or see. It is the universe saying, "Are you sure you want that? Maybe you should take another look at that." You want to be very clear in that moment because you made the decision that you might not have all the correct information. Often, a retrograde allows us to bring more awareness and more of who we are into the mix. A retrograde reminds us that linear thought is just never enough to find clarity. The universe shows us that all perceived endings really aren't. But it is interesting that we are often so blind that we do not pay attention. If we look at all those messages from the divine, we would not fear death because we would know that it's not really an ending. It's just a limitation of our perception while we are in a human body. Perspective is something that expands and is acquired through the quest for more knowledge and experience. Retrogrades are like a mirror, reflecting back to us what we did not see the first or second pass of a planet's lesson. They are a reminder that only by creating more space do we actually learn how to integrate more understanding, and only by learning to take breaks can we learn how to build up energy that will allow us to leap into new realities. When we give too much of ourselves away, we have nothing left inside to make those leaps. While astrology attempts to help us find and define who and what we are by instructing us on our tendencies that happen because of our sun sign, the reality is that we are here to integrate all the planets and their wisdom and lessons. Retrogrades allow us to descend like the goddess Inanna into the underworld. Only by surrendering up what we think we know ourselves to be can we discover the hidden secrets of who we really are. To do that, we have to be willing to go inward from a place of stillness and acceptance so we can find a way to bring feelings into external manifestations. On August 18th, Mercury was retrograde and it will square to Uranus, and Mercury appears to enter the sun. It's called a cazimi. Expect the mind to be very busy trying to make sense out of everything happening in our world. This aspect is trying to untangle all this negativity that has been poisoning reason and rational thought. We are asked to look at our unconscious habits and to challenge things that we might have feared challenging before. Now with this cazimi, there is a new type of courage that will not be silenced as it stands up to those holding the position of being a bully. We have to shift our thoughts and beliefs before we can shift our external world. To do that, we have to own the duality within, and we are feeling we willingly to fearlessly move out of the shadows and into the light. The cazimi reminds us that our environment shapes our opinions. Who we associate with also shapes our mind. It takes a very strong mind to see past the projections and illusions generated by others, especially when their words are not truth, but they claim to be the keeper of truth. This is a day to clear things out and to do what is necessary to create space for the new growth that is around the corner. August 19th, the full moon in Aquarius, and the moon will then go into Pisces. There's a T-square with Venus, Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn. I like to think of a T-square as a convention of sorts. Everyone is gathered together and wanting to dive into a deeper conversation, but each person is from a different place and perceives things very differently. Venus, being in Virgo, wants to talk about how we can finally come together between our heart and making the world a better place. Mars and Jupiter are both in Gemini, and they want to dive into what they see as the necessary details, and Saturn just wants everyone to take responsibility for their choices and actions. Instantly, you can see the problem. What we need to realize is this planetary convention is that everyone is right, and we need to do all the steps. We are all one body with many voices. All insights are valid and should be valued. While we do not know what is going to unfold, it will become clear that what we need to do, that we will need to do it together. The Aquarius moon brings things into the light with a stronger purpose and a renewed sense of clarity. It allows in the quirky into the equation. It brings the unexpected into patterns that are locked and loaded. It takes us out of confinement and into freedom. And it does it by helping us to believe in ourselves and allowing us to create a path out of the prisons of our minds. And it shows us how to embrace our dreams and follow our heart no matter what. This type of full moon shows us that it does not matter where we were, only where we are going. August 22nd, the sun enters into the sign of the Virgo and the moon goes into Aries. It seems time to shift signs, and with this turning towards fall, we shift the colors of our landscape and move us away from the heat of our lives and into the stronger integration of being more accessible and bringing us closer to each other. This is the season of the harvest, and to bring all the produce into the markets and granaries, we have to learn to work together. Virgo loves a plan, and it loves to bring a plan into form and works for everyone. We long to clear away the clutter and the noise that serves no one. The time of nature is telling us that we are to prepare for things to shift. We must be ready. We are asked to be prepared, and we are here to learn to listen to nature's guidance. August 24th, the moon goes into Taurus. As the moon shifts into the practical sign of Taurus, and with us being in an earth sign of Virgo, we will be getting down to brass tacks, meaning that we are going to start discussing and considering the most important facts and details. We are going to want to work out all the upcoming important dates and the timing of those events with the subject of those events. This week starts out with, it seems, too much going on. We seem to fixate on one thing just to take apart another. We are asking what was old and reshaping it into something new. As the week moves forward, we shift out of fixing and into creating new spaces. Suddenly, boundaries will matter a lot. We are not going to need to find a way to observe others, we are not going to need to find a way to observe others, but not needing to fix them or even give them feedback. Removing ourselves from their presence is a clear answer. Know your value. Know what you offer. Know that those that do not respect and honor what you offer are not worth your time or effort. You do not need to defend what you are doing is right. You do not need to defend wanting a world where everyone is given an equal chance. This week, you do not need anyone's permission to make choices that move in the direction of unity rather than discord and upset. You have the permission to say no to people who want to make hate the conversation. What is going to be clear is that there are those that we will walk away from. It is time. It has been time for a long time. The kindness in your heart wanted to give them the capacity and the chance to choose love over hate. But if they are unable to make that shift, then you have no choice but to let them go and step away.